Have you ever had a great idea but felt like you were just one step away from quitting? Well, today we're going to dive into the incredible story of how one single conversation, one crucial connection, took a project from the absolute brink of failure and turned it into a $200 million success. Let's get right into it.
Just think about that for a second. I was about to quit till I met you. Those are the actual words of Jeff Wyckoff, the founder of a product called Zap. And man, that really captures the stakes here. He had already failed twice and was literally ready to throw in the towel for good.
See, this story isn't just about a cool product. It's really a masterclass in how powerful networking can be. We're going to break down exactly how one single introduction created a domino effect that built a massive empire from almost nothing.
All right, so to really get this, we have to go back to the beginning. Before all the success, there was a whole lot of struggle.
So meet Jeff Wyckoff. By day, he's a construction business owner. And I mean, this guy was grinding. He was driving 15,000 miles a month just to keep his main business afloat. On the side, he's got this passion project, a tile cleaner he called Zap. The problem? It was going nowhere. He tried to launch it twice, and both times, it completely flopped. He was exhausted, the passion was fading, and he was right on the edge of just giving up on the whole thing.
And then, just like in a movie, a chance meeting happens that changes, well, everything. Jeff ends up at a seminar, and there he meets a guy named Mike Hayes. Now, you got to understand, Mike was a legend in the direct response TV world. He knew everybody. He wasn't some kind of wizard, but he was a connector. And that, it turns out, was the one thing Jeff needed more than anything else.
And what's so wild is how fast this all happened. This wasn't a slow burn. It was like a lightning strike. Mike introduces Jeff to a producer. That producer turns right around and connects him with a TV channel, Value Vision. And then, by sheer luck, they happen to need one last-minute product to fill a spot on a show. And just like that, Zap gets its shot. The whole thing started with just one handshake.
So, after all that struggle, Zap is finally on live TV. What do you think happened next? How long do you think it took for his entire world to change? Well, look at this number.
5 minutes. That's it. After years of failure and grinding it out, his product completely sells out in 5 minutes on the air. That one appearance generated $50,000 in cash flow, which was the exact fuel the business needed to finally, truly get off the ground.
Okay, so that initial success was the spark. But Jeff needed a way to turn that little spark into a raging inferno. And he did it with something he called a sales robot. A sales robot. I love that analogy. Think about it. A TV commercial is your perfect salesperson. It delivers the perfect pitch perfectly every single time. It works 24/7. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't ask for a coffee break. It is out there making you money while you eat, sleep, or work your other job. And believe me, this robot worked hard. Even on what they considered a bad night, a slow night, the sales robot was still pulling in this much. $35,000, all while Jeff was sleeping. And at its peak, the sales robot brought in an absolutely staggering $750,000 in a single week. That's the power of a scalable system. In fact, this robot was so effective that Jeff was able to keep his construction job until the business was clearing $1 million a month in cash flow. It wasn't just about the product, it was about building a machine.
So, the big question is, how? How on earth did they create a commercial that was so ridiculously effective for a simple tile clean? This was the puzzle they had to solve. Somebody actually asked Jeff, how the heck can you sell a tile cleaner for 20 bucks? Because, most people just won't pay that. The answer is pure marketing genius.
This right here, this is the secret sauce. Jeff realized you don't sell a tile cleaner for $20. You sell a restorer. See, a cleaner is a cheap commodity, but a restorer? That's a solution to a big, expensive problem. It's not competing with the other cleaners on the shelf anymore. Now it's competing with the cost of replacing your entire tub or shower, which could be thousands of dollars. All of a sudden, 20 bucks sounds like an absolute steal. And this became their trademarked slogan. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. It perfectly captures that huge value proposition. Honestly, it's a masterclass in how your positioning can be even more important than your product.
And the results of the strategy? Well, they speak for themselves. Just look at this growth curve. It's a classic hockey stick. The company just exploded, going from $300,000 in its first year to over $60 million by year 5. That's what happens when you mix a good product with the right connections and a killer marketing angle.
Which brings us right back to where we started. All of this, the sales robot, the brilliant slogan, the crazy growth, every bit of it can be traced back to that one single pivotal introduction.
Jeff used this incredible metaphor to describe Mike Hayes' impact. He said Mike was the bellows for his fire. The spark of the idea was there, but the fire was dying. It was about to go out. The introductions and guidance from Mike were the oxygen that turned that tiny, fading spark into an absolute bonfire.
So, what are the big lessons we can pull from this? First, the right network can open doors that are completely locked to you otherwise. Second, how you frame your product is everything. Third, be smart about it. Jeff didn't quit his job until Zap was a cash flow machine. And finally, find a way to build a system, a sales robot that works for you even when you're not working.
And that kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. This whole $200 million journey began because one person was willing to help another make a connection. It really makes you wonder, right? Who in your life right now could be the bellows for your fire?